are simulation, at least for a video game. Simulation style sliders. I mean, they're custom sliders, offline only, but game is frustratingly difficult on, for example, AllStar, which, I used to play on Superstar. I gave Hall of Fame a shot, but geez Louise, the cheese, even on AllStar, ridiculous. The comeback cheese, the defense, the, the CPU on your team can't play defense for their life, but I finally figured out some sliders. Here, show it to you right now. Um, like I said, offline only, but for the CPU, this is what works best. Scroll all the way down slowly. So this these settings take care of the CPU's offense. This is more realistic. This is how the CPU will defend you. In turn, I think it's also your CPU team themselves. Um, Attributes. I didn't mess with these too much. Um, but I did make sure, offense and defensive consistency were, you know, at least above 50%. The tendencies, to make it more realistic. I mean, you can still play around with this, but 40% of the time they'll take 3 pointers. Other times they'll attack the basket or try and dunk it. So I think this is realistic. They'll contest shots most of the time. They'll try and backdoor cut. And then the foul calls. I mean, putting these at 100% makes the most sense for realistic simulation gameplay. But refs don't call everything, even in the NBA. So these kind of settings make the most sense to me. Movement, I didn't mess with this too much. Just try not to make the CPU too fast with the ball. And then this is the user ratings. Just try and keep it. So this is the most bumping I did on the 3 points because I cannot make a 3-point shot for my life in this game, even wide open. So I had to bump this up a little bit. Everything else is close to 50%. What else? I bumped up my ball security because the bump steals and everything were just crazy in this game. What else? Defense. So, if you don't have godly defensive rating, it seems like you're useless in this game as an NBA player playing defense. It just makes no sense. So you got to bring these numbers up a little bit to help make your own defense a little more realistic. You could probably tone this down a little bit if you're better at the game, but I'm terrible at the game. So attributes didn't really mess with it too much. Hustle, this is a big one. Can finally win some more of those 50-50 balls. Ball handling, like I said before. Didn't really mess with these too much. Just try to keep the offensive defensive ratings high. Hopefully help reaction time, to openings on defense or offense. What else here? Oh, I don't think these really affect anything unless, I don't think these really affect anything, but I just kind of like bump these up for the defensive and backdoor cuts. And then the fouls, for the user, try to keep it fair. But you can play around with it. So yeah, I mean there is some gameplay in this clip too to showcase the realistic simulation offline gameplay. Give you a look right now. Let's see, DeMarcus Cousins posting up Greg Oden. Good contest. See? That made basketball sense to me. Now, Batum cutting. Alright. He was heavily contested. And I agree with that. Paul George wide open. He missed the layup. Alright, that may need some tweaking. But we got the foul goal here, which makes sense. So, there you go.